Israel Adesanya retained the UFC middleweight title in the main event of UFC 276. The 5-round unanimous decision win over Jared Cannonier was, however, his third decision victory in a row, and the boozer clearly starting to grate on his greatness.
Look, the greats, they all get to this point. I've seen it when I was just a fan, still a fan. Anderson Silva, GSP, I remember fights would be like, that was a fantastic fight. And the same thing, people would just boo them. GSP, one of the goats, and people would just boo him. I'm like, what the are you guys watching? You dumb
Cannonier, who was competing in his first title fight, believed it was going to be easy work. The champ took offense, but it's not like there was bad blood between the two. In fact, Izzy had more heat with Sean Strickland, which is bizarre. While Strickland was fighting in what many consider to be an eliminator for the next shot at Adesanya's title. Strickland was facing Alex Pereira, a man with 2 wins over Adesanya from back in their kickboxing days. The champ had Cannonier to deal with and a history with Pereira, but he was dealing with Strickland instead.
I can tell you what, if you win this fight, when we fight, I knock you out, I'm gonna do a TikTok dance over your grave.
Oh, look at this grown-ass man on TikTok. Maybe that's the problem, bro.
And
you don't want this guy's a champion.
Do something about it.
You don't want this guy's a champion.
Do something about it then.
Bro,
do something about it.
I will walk outside with you right now.
That beef may never get settled because Pereira knocked Strickland out in the first round with the same shot he knocked out Izzy, a left hook to the chin. Meanwhile, Cannonier was playing his part in the main event rivalry, looking as lean and mean as ever, while Izzy was again promising something spectacular that never took place.
I'm ready to show up, I'm ready to blow up, and I'm ready to throw up my fist in victory and take my belt home. It's going down.
This is the biggest show of the year, and I'm gonna make it look easy, because King Kong ain't got on me.
The problem was, not much happened. Like in his snooze fest against Yoel Romero, Adesanya remained patient, while Cannonier waited for openings that weren't there. Aside from some clinch control, Izzy did enough to win the fight, but not the fans.
Ali, Floyd Mayweather, same thing. You get to this point where it's like, you're so great, people just want to see you fall, you know? They just want to see you fall, no matter what. And if it's not like a show-out spectacular performance, then it's like, he's not even that good. But trust, like, Jared knows I'm a good fighter. He knows I'm a great fighter, and I gave him the same credit as well.
Who he'll face next is a given. Pereira is ready and willing and not impressed.
He did his part, I did my part. But it was a fight that not only didn't excite me, but also didn't excite the crowd. It was very sad to see that, so I hope when we fight, we have a better fight than that. For sure, I'm going to have a better fight for the crowd.
In the co-main event, Alexander Volkanovski made it 3 from 3 against Max Holloway in a battle for the UFC featherweight title. Now the champ thinks he deserves a shot at dual championship status.
Yeah, of course I do. No, I don't need to fight anyone. Come on, man. I'm a dominant champ, taking out guys like Max Holloway 3 times. You know, who's really looked like that against someone like Max Holloway?
Everyone expected the bout between champ and ex-champ to be as evenly contested as their first 2 encounters. With Volk winning the first by unanimous decision and the second by split, Holloway had something to prove.
Man, you guys gonna find out Saturday night talking about 3. This guy talking about a 3-peat or something, you know? This guy don't even got 3 highlights in the UFC.
Oh, Max came to play. I love it.
Volk was simply too fast, too accurate, and just too good. It wasn't even close, and Holloway is one of the best fighters on the planet. So what does that make the champ? According to him, it makes him next in line for the lightweight title.
Yeah, people are he's on the pound-for-pound list. You know what I mean? You don't get to see this very often. You don't get to see someone dominate someone who's so high on the pound-for-pound list. You know, considered one of the greatest featherweights of all time. To think that I don't deserve to just move straight up, I think would be pretty silly.
Following Charles Oliveira's loss on the scales before his win over Justin Gaethje, the lightweight title was made vacant. Oliveira will soon face someone for the title, and it could very well be the featherweight champ. Also on the card, Pedro Munoz's highly anticipated bout against the scorching hot prospect Sugar Sean O'Malley ended in a whimper. The bout was ruled a no contest after an accidental eye poke from O'Malley left Munoz unable to see due to a scratched cornea. And on the prelims, the UFC legend Donald Cerrone announced his retirement. Cowboy stepped in on late notice to face Jim Miller and tapped out to a guillotine in the second round of his 55th pro MMA bout. Meanwhile, Miller became the most successful fighter in UFC history with his 24th UFC win. Brian Barberena's bloody comeback to knock out Robbie Lawler in the second round won UFC 276's Fight of the Night. Alex Pereira, Jalen Turner, and Julia Stoliarenko each earned a $50K performance bonus for their first round finishes. And at PFL 6, the two-time women's lightweight champ Kayla Harrison capped off the 2022 regular season with another first-round TKO. Harrison put on yet another display of grappling supremacy, stopping Caitlin Young with her now trademark ground and pound for 6 points and the second seed spot in the tournament. In the co-main, Sadibou C upset one of the welterweight favorites, Rory McDonald, with a unanimous decision. After 2 evenly matched rounds, C began to bully McDonald around the cage, getting takedowns and controlling the bout. The usually fan-friendly Canadian just couldn't find his usual destructive rhythm, and it cost him the fight. Ray Cooper III was back to his banging best. It took the former champ just 24 seconds to take out Brett Cooper. It was a massacre. A series of hard body shots softened Cooper up for a barrage of everything else thrown with bad intentions. Cooper folded up, and it was all over in seconds. In the other women's lightweight bout of the night, Larissa Pacheco secured the #1 seed by demolishing Jenna Fabian. If you thought Harrison's ground and pound was scary, think again. After threatening with submissions, Pacheco opted for some good old-fashioned violence and got it done. And in the opening bout of the main card, Magomed Umalatov knocked Jara Al-Salawi all the way out with his right hand in the first round. The undefeated Russian was pretty happy about his handiwork, and you can see why too. That right hand was beautiful.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.